Carol and Mike. Today is January the 20th, Tuesday. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to try and bring you up to date on what has been happening since we talked to you last. We mailed our last tape to you last Saturday, so I'm sure you've gotten it by this time. Nothing a whole lot has happened here. Our weather has been iffy. One day it's fairly nice, and in the morning and by afternoon it's all fogged up and cloudy. And Sunday was that way, as was Monday, and is also again today. Saturday we mailed the tape to you. We didn't do a whole lot. I did not take any notes to put down, so I really don't know what we did do. I don't think anything much that was exciting, or I would have remembered it. Sunday was about the same. We got up, of course, and read the newspaper, and it was a pewy day. We usually do a little bit of grocery shopping almost every day. I don't know that we did Sunday. Yeah. We did call Randy on his birthday on the 16th, and he had just talked to you, he said. So we knew that you all were okay and everything. And Saturday night, we talked to Sheila. She called here, and she said they had snow in Springfield, and she's got a real bad cold, and that she had tried to contact you and got cut off. So I don't know what happened there, but I guess you've heard all about it by this time. We talked to Ron on Sunday, and he had some kind of alarming news to us. He said that his reports from the doctor all came back, and he has hepatitis. I'm not too familiar with hepatitis, except that I do remember that Goldie had it many, many years ago. But Ron said his is different. It's not the infectious kind, but he just gets so terribly tired, and it does affect the liver. So I don't know what can be done. He didn't say he was on any medication or anything, and he said he'd known it for a week or so, but he hadn't told us anything about it. So I guess the only way we get any information is to call him up and find out for ourselves. Yesterday was a very pewy day here. It was rainy and cloudy and, just awful. Fog. The fog was so bad you couldn't see the pier again. We've had that every day now almost. So Daddy and I decided to go see Crocodile Dundee, which we did. It was really a funny movie. I'm so glad that we did go. We both sat there and ha-ha'd, and it was only 99 cents on Monday, so that's a good day for us to go if the weather is bad down here. Today we didn't do a whole lot. We went to the grocery store and did a little bit of shopping because, as you know, Woody and Lenore are coming up Thursday. I think I told you that earlier. Tonight we're going to the boat for dinner. Charlie and Goldie are going with us. We're going about 5:30. And let's see, what else? What are we doing tomorrow? I've already forgotten. I don't know. Can't think what we're doing. Probably nothing special. If the sun's out, we'll sit outside for a while, but if it's not, why, we'll find something to do. We may go over to the mall for a while. I'm going to the beauty shop Thursday morning early, and a week from Thursday I'm going down to Tyrone Mall, and Sears has got a special on perms, so I'm going to get a perm down at Sears. I've got my appointment made. I figure it can't be that bad. My hair's gotten quite long, and I either have to get it cut here or do something. So I thought, well, I'll get this perm, which is only $25. It's a special. And then by the time we get home in April, why, I'll be able to get a good one down where I usually go. Can't think of a whole lot else to tell you right now, but I did want to get that much in because if I don't, I forget. I'm not very good at remembering. We're looking forward to the Stutzmans coming, and of course we're really looking forward to Randy and Cheryl coming down. And we'll be in touch with them again, and I told Sheila to call me again next Sunday morning, so that's what she's going to do. So we'll be in touch with all the kids again and keep everything straightened out. I don't know anything else to tell you at this particular time. Daddy's gotten his shower and he's all dressed, so I have to go do the same thing right now. I'm going to clean the house. I didn't know what I was going to do tomorrow, but I just remembered I'm going to clean the house with our company coming. It doesn't seem to get very dirty here. You know, we don't do much in here, so how can it get dirty? Daddy will run the vacuum, and I'll do a little dusting. And yesterday I cleaned the showers pretty good with that Tilex stuff. The water down here seems to be so hard. You get so much water spots and rust spots all over everything. So anyway, that's the extent of what I have to tell you at this particular time. So unless Daddy's got something to say, have you got anything to say? He may. He's looking at me kind of queer, so I'll shut it off, and if he wants to give you a holler, why, great. Otherwise, I'll try and get back to you again tomorrow. I love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, it's me. Now you'll hear the real news. Nothing spectacular, but your mother forgets a lot of things. Today is Tuesday, and we hadn't gotten any mail since last Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And of course Sunday you don't get any mail. And Monday was your cousin Martin's birthday. His last name is King. So we didn't get any mail that day. So I expected a whole bunch today. But you're right, I didn't get anything from you. In fact, we got some things. We did, really. On a serious note, we got a few checks and we got a few bills, and I think the bills exceeded the checks. So we didn't gain too much, but then we are back in business with our mail. We thought maybe that the great Baldwin post office had goofed again and cut it off. But evidently they didn't. Most of it was marked the 14th. Now, mind you, today's the 20th. It was postmarked the 14th, and it was postmarked by our yellow sticker 2 days later, the 16th, and we got it on the 20th. Now, I will give them credit for the fact that there was a Sunday, and there was Martin Luther King's birthday. That was 2 days that weren't working, but I still think that pretty poor service. But anyway, there isn't anything pressing that we have to have. They're still getting snow in St. Louis, but the temperature is not but in the late 20s, like 27, 29. So the roads aren't slick, and so I don't think there's anything a problem up there. Sunday here, that's the day before yesterday, our friend and your friend Jack Miner stopped by himself. He was down here working, and he just stopped by, and he said he wasn't going to go to dinner, he wasn't going to do anything, he had a lot of work to do, and he checked in a little motel right up the street here, and said, now don't bother me because I'm not going to do it, and I'll see you in March. He and Dixie are coming down here to Tampa for a convention in March, and he said they'd see us in March. So anyway, he didn't want to do anything. The Gateses have evidently haven't arrived yet. We haven't heard from them, and Goldie hasn't heard from them, so I guess they haven't gotten here yet. Last I heard from him at our dinner, Carol, where you were at the Missouri Athletic Club, he indicated to me that he was going to either leave on the 15th or be down here on the 15th. Well, this is the 20th, and we haven't heard from him. So if he is here, he is busy, and if he's not here, why, that's why we haven't heard from him. So I thought I would expand on your mother's thing a little bit, and to continue with the fact that there isn't really too much news here. we enjoyed talking to Sheila and Randy, and we know that you are back now in Australia, and it's 4:10 here, so that makes it 7:10 a.m. Wednesday morning, the 21st, over there. And I would assume that Mike is either gone or getting ready to go back to work. So somebody's got to work in the family. So you send him on to work, Carol. That's what you got to do. So, I don't know, like your mother said, we're going to go down to the ship. Now, you don't know maybe what the boat is or the ship is. It's just a big place to eat. It has more people eat there than any place else, and it's very crowded, and you go there and you get 99-cent drinks while you're waiting, and you can call your brand, and they're doubles, I think. And maybe you remember it. I know Sheila does. By the way, Sheila's David is here, and his folks have a condominium here, you know. And we talked to him, and he's quit school and gone to work for an insurance company, and his dad is in the insurance business, so I'm sure it's in the same thing. But he's here walking around the beach and everything, so he's not working. So maybe that's the kind of job that he wants. And anyway, enough of that. He did talk to us and wanted to know how Sheila was, and we told him, and so that was all of that. But I'm looking out at the gray Gulf, and the waves are not high. They're just kind of lackadaisical. I'm looking over at the pier, and there's a few fishermen on it, and I don't know whether they're doing any good or not. So it's about 2 hours from sunset time, but we haven't had a nice sunset for a week or 10 days. Seems like every time that it comes that time, the clouds hover and they get gathered around. Let's see. I guess I'm about shot craps for this time. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. And right now I'm going to say it. Goodbye. Good afternoon, you two. I'm sure you're home by now. This is Wednesday, January the 21st, here in Florida. On Eastern Time, why, it's 1:56 p.m., let's call it 2 p.m., and that would make it 5 o'clock tomorrow morning over there, I think. I'm figuring 15 hours, and I guess that's correct. We did get a card from you today from Bangkok, showing us your hotel and telling us that you bought all kinds of cheap stuff. Mike wrote it. I guess Carol was out shopping. He didn't know what else to do, probably. So, I hope that you have enjoyed the trip as you say you are enjoying it. Along with the card from Bangkok, we got a card from the Fijian in Fiji from Don Vandermeulen, who was there on New Year's Eve. And he said, what a way to spend New Year's Eve. So anyway, he did not say anything about his mother, his father, his brother, or anybody. He just said that he did not know when he was going to get to St. Louis. And goodbye. That was really about all he said. But it was nice of him to think of us, and he always did. But we did say the other day that we had not heard from him for a long time. Today is very rainy. It is not cold. It's in the upper 60s, I suppose, 65 anyway. And but it's been raining all morning. And no walking the beach or sitting out by the pool or anything like that. So we went down to Tyrone Mall, did a little shopping down there, and I accomplished, Carol, one of the 3 things that I said I was going to do in Florida. And I'll bet you don't even remember what they were. Do you? Well, I haven't yet gone to the eye doctor to get contacts, and I haven't yet gone to a dentist to get a new set of teeth. So I will leave it to you to guess what the other one is, and I'm sure you will remember. So your mother's sitting over there grinning. I don't know why, but she thinks it's funny. And if she keeps doing that, I'll take them back. So anyway, we went out to dinner last night with Charlie and Goldie down to the boat. You know where the boat is, I guess. And I ate shrimp, and your mother ate prime rib, and couldn't eat it all. Brought half of it home and half of Charlie's home. But it was a Pewee day, and Tuesday is a good day for us to go out, and we usually go out on Thursday, leaving the weekends to the tourist. So that makes us a native, right? Wrong. Not yet. We haven't looked at any more condos or houses. In fact, we haven't looked at but 2 houses. We did look at 2 condos, I guess. So we're about even on what we're looking at. So we still have mixed emotions whether we would want to buy down here or not. But anyway, that will all depend on time. We did hear, I guess I told you on the earlier part of this tape, but I'll tell you again rather than re-listen to it, that last night, the 20th of January, was the first meeting on the property over there in back of White Castle, and it was at the county council's chambers, and we don't know the outcome of it, but if they approved it and sent it to the planning commission, why, it's a matter of time. If they didn't, why, then Eisenberg will have to resubmit and change his intentions or whatever. It's the reason that they did not approve it. Excuse me. So we just have to wait and see. There again, time is the essence. So I guess maybe I've talked myself out. We are going to have barbecued chicken tonight here at home by ourselves. I did tell you that I've got John's gas barbecue grill that he had bought a year or so ago, and Ruth told us to take it, and so we did, and it's very convenient. It's got I don't know what pound tank it's got on it, but it's one of those round ones like you got at the lake. It's very good for down here. So I'll give this to your mother and let her jabber on a little bit, and we'll get back to it on a little later. Bye-bye.
Well, good afternoon. You've got me now, and it's only 2 or 3 minutes later since Daddy picked up this thing to talk. I'm watching my soap opera, of course. As he said, it's a very Pewee day, and it was a very Pewee day yesterday. I don't know how it can get much worse around here, but let's hope it gets better. Woody and Lenore are due up tomorrow, so after Daddy and I went into the mall this morning, he came back and he ran the vacuum for me, and I dusted, and I had cleaned the bathrooms yesterday, so there really wasn't that much to do around here once the vacuuming is done. Daddy failed to tell you what we did this morning. He's been seeing in the paper about hearing tests, so he decided it was time to go. When we went to see Crocodile Dundee the other day, he had a little trouble hearing parts of it, so he thought maybe that was a good time to do something about it, and of course his hearing is bad. It's worse in the right ear than it is in the left, but both ears are pretty bad. So he's getting 2 hearing aids. They're very, very tiny. They're the latest thing that's out. They're $1,100 a piece, so they ought to be good. $1,100? $10.50. I'm sorry, $10.50 a piece. But they're made to fit in way down into your ear, and they're hardly noticeable at all. So I'm sure that he's going to be quite happy with them. And this is a regular. That's all they do is hearing tests and hearing aids. So It's supposed to be all over the country, so if he has any problem, he could have gotten the rechargeable one, but they're a little bit bigger, and he didn't want that. So these are very, very tiny, and they're made to fit, and they will adjust them to fit. Yeah, they've filled his ears with wax to make an impression like they do when you get false teeth or something, or when they put braces on kids. But it'll be 2 to 3 weeks before he gets them, but I'm sure by that time he'll have made up his mind he's ready for them. He didn't know for sure if he was ready for them, but believe me, he is. They can be adjusted down to suit his needs. In other words, one ear is worse than the other, and they can tone them down, or what, I don't know what they do to them, but you have to replace the little tiny battery in them about once a week, and the batteries, he said, are 35 cents, I think. So that's a good deal, really. Trying to think what else. They're real tiny, not much bigger than a penny, if that big. And they fit way down in the air, so there's hardly anything noticeable. Of course, yeah, like the top of a golf tee, he said. So anyway, I'm sure he's going to be happier, and I know I am, because the television keeps going up, and he's finally admitted to the fact that he doesn't hear too good. And the hearing test really showed it today, and I sat in on it, so my hearing isn't as bad as he seemed to thought it was all the time, because the man put some tone things on there, and Daddy couldn't hear them at all, and I could hear them without anything. So anyway, that's beside the point. Oh yeah, Daddy said to tell you I'm super anyway. So I can't think of anything else to tell you right now. I think he told you we were going to have chicken for dinner. It was pull something out of the freezer, and the first thing he pulled was the chicken. It was either chicken or pork chops or hamburgers, and the chicken came, so that's what we're having. And I think some sweet potatoes are either we bought some frozen patties of potatoes, and I don't know. He said we're going to have yams, so that's what we're going to have. The only other thing we bought was some shoe polish. We didn't either one of us bring our Ma's credit card with us. That's one of the big department stores down here, but I don't think there would be any problem if we wanted to charge something, because they can look up the number on the computer. And we really should, to keep our account open, because otherwise, if you don't spend money within a year or so, they close your account out. So I'm going over there next week, I told you, and get a perm at Sears, so I'll go in there and find out about it. Daddy wants to buy a cover-up for swimming trunks, a zippered top of some sort. What for, then? Well, he didn't understand me. He said he didn't want to buy swimming trunks, but you heard me.
I want to buy a cover-up for my swimming trunks.
Okay. He wants to buy cover-up for his top, but you know what I'm saying, Carol. He's not hearing me again. Anyway, I don't know anything else right now. I think this tape is a little over half over by now, so we were happy to get your card from Bangkok. I cut the stamps off of it, and I also cut the stamp from Fiji off of the card. And if I ever talk to Nell, I'll make sure that she gets those along with the Australian stamps. Apparently they're not here yet. No one has heard from them, and I'm sure Goldie or us one would have heard something. So the South County installation of officers is this Friday night, so maybe they're waiting till that's over with and then come down. I just hope no one is sick or anything, and I'm sure if something had happened, we would have heard something, or somebody would have. Well, I'll let you go. I sure don't know anything else to tell you about right now. The Gulf is very calm, but it sure did rain this morning. Rained hard. I almost thought I was home. So we'll talk to you again, probably not anymore. Maybe this evening. We'll see what goes, if I hear any news or anything. That was about all for this time. So we love you and take care. Bye-bye.
Well, another 24 hours has passed, and I'm standing out on our porch, and as you can hear, the Gulf is on a rampage. It's now 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon, the 22nd of January, and we had quite a storm during the night and this morning. And at 7 o'clock this morning, our lights went out. It wasn't daylight yet. And the Gulf of Mexico did its usual thing. It paid us a visit. Came right up on the porch, said hello. But it did not come inside. So we got a porch full of sand now. And it's impossible to clean it up until it dries because you can't sweep wet sand. So, but as you can hear in the background, that's the Gulf making all that noise. And right now, it's not high tide yet, but the waves are coming in and they're within 3 feet of the seawall. And here where we are, the seawall is only 2 feet high. So that doesn't have to do much more between now and 4 o'clock when high tide comes in to pass another visit. We were supposed to have company today, but look, Lenora called and said they weren't coming because of the tornado watch and the storms and so forth. I'm looking out to the west now, a little bit to the north, and there's 3 guys out there with surfboards and wetsuits, and they're taking advantage of these high waves. The water is very shallow. Carol, you don't remember, but Sheila would if she were here. Out there, you can actually stand up, but it's coming across, and they're breaking over that shallow water is what they're doing. And out quite a ways further is, I would imagine that we have maybe 10 feet waves, something like that. I'm standing here on the porch, and I'm starting to get wet, not from rain, but from just mist from the Gulf. Well, we had been to the store today. We didn't know whether our company was coming or not, but they're not. And that guy just took a fall out there. 2 more just got covered up. Down at the pier, some of these waves come within about a foot of the deck on the pier. I wouldn't want to be on that pier because someday it's going to fall down, and it could be this afternoon. But the guy that runs it's got his car out there, and he's out there. But anyway, that's his problem. So I'm just more or less rattling on. I wanted to talk to you again and tell you what was happening. It's in the upper 50s today, and it's supposed to get colder. Northwestern Florida is supposed to have snow maybe tonight. And the 3 guys on their boards just arrived on the beach. Now they've got to walk to the north and go back out again. Your mother said she was going to shut that because the noise probably was keeping her from her soap opera. Well, I'm going to go on in. I just thought I'd come out here and let you have a listen to our waves. I know you've got waves in Australia, but we're still going to Dots and Gordy's Sunday for Super Bowl, whether Woody and Lenora come up here or not. And the Gateses did get in Tuesday night. Maybe we told you earlier on this tape. They are here. And Nell had a little minor surgery on, I don't know whether it was her left one or her right one, but one of them. But it was nothing. They said didn't amount to anything. So I'll just cut it off and give this to your mother, and she can talk a little while. So long for now. Well, I just checked this tape, and it's almost ready to turn over. I didn't realize that we had talked that much on it. So if it makes a funny noise and stops, well, you'll know that it decided to shoot craps. I'm inside now, as you can tell by the noise. There's the sun is peeping out now and then, and it could become a nice day, but so far it's just very windy and blowing, and the surf is high. there's nobody, no activity around the pool. In fact, the pool ran over this morning. Whenever it rains hard, it seems like the pool runs over. I don't know why, but it does. So it's a good day for the crew out there to get their work done, I guess, because they're cleaning out a storeroom or something out there. Anyway, we haven't heard from anybody. I did talk to Clarence, and he said his car's been in the shop. He hasn't had a car, and that, he told us that Bob came down and removed his snow, and that our kid removed the snow off of ours, but he evidently put the snow blower up against the garage, and Clarence had to chop it loose to get the garage door open. So the kid wasn't thinking. He should have gone the other way. But anyway, I told Clarence his name, and I said, if you want to call him and not holler at him, but tell him that while you can. And now it's shut off. I heard it. Now I'm taping over my sentence. So goodbye for now, and I'll turn it over. You guys way down there in Australia, I'm going to tell you that you're going to get one of the few things that's ever happened to you. Lenora has got a speech already, and she's going to talk to you right here in this thing. She said she's got to go to the bathroom. She's not going now.
Got that shut off anyway.
Right there.
Where? What?
Talk.
Hello, Carol.
And Mike.
And Mike. This is Lenore. Remember upstairs when Woody and your dad and Gerald was playing his, Casio, and your dad was having such a good time with it? I thought one of you guys would at least buy him one for Christmas. Good night. Damn.
She makes a short speech, doesn't she?
I don't know what to say to her.
You know some people get mic fright when they're talking.
I'm so excited. You should have given me more time.
Well, go to the bathroom and you can come back, and then you can have all the time you want. Anyway, Carol, we're not being silly. She is really, but she'll be back. They got here this afternoon, which we were very happy that they finally did. I didn't have to vacuum one more time. And we had a drink or two, and we went down to the boat, and we had dinner. Woody got a prime rib, and Lenora had beef tips, and your mother had fried chicken, and I had shrimp almondine. So we had quite a variety. We're back here now at our condo, and the waves have settled down. Woody's been to the bathroom and came back out, and now we're getting ready to have coffee. He said that he was ready to talk now. You got your speech made up, Woody? No? They're in Australia. Can't you say a few words to him and say hello to him? Sure. Talk right there. Right there in that little place.
Who is this?
Carol and Mike.
Hello, Carol and Mike. They don't say hello back.
Nope, they didn't say anything back.
Hey, hello.
What you doing, mate?
What you doing, mate? Mate? Well, I don't know what to say. You got me. I'm Mike Shock. And Mike, that's his name, though, Mike. And I got Mike Shocked.
Carol, can you believe these two guys talk so much when they're up here and they can't say a word when you put a mic in front of them? I can't believe that.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. We're all going to... We're all going to Gordy's for Super Bowl, and down at the restaurant tonight, one of the little waitresses in the cocktail bar had a Bronco shirt on. Now, you know the Broncos, they're involved in the Super Bowl along with the New York Giants. And of course the Broncos are the underdog. And Woody asked her if she was from the Mile High Stadium, and she didn't know what that meant. And but finally we told her, and she understood it. And she told us where we could get T-shirts, Super Bowl kind of stuff. And so we thought we would go up there before Sunday, and all of us get something to wear to Gordy's. Just for kind of a funny thing, you know. So that's what we probably will do, is to go up there and get a couple of T-shirts or a funny hat or... Woody has finally decided that this is easier than writing a letter. And it is. So anyway, before we go to Gordy's, this is just Friday, so Saturday we're going to go to the flea market and do a little shopping there. And if we don't find what we want, we're going to go up toward Clearwater and get some T-shirts for us each to wear, and some shoulder pads, and some some jock straps or whatever we have to make us look like football players. And that's what we're going to do. And Woody is laughing. He thinks that's funny, but he doesn't know your father, does he, Carol? We just might do that. Grandma, your mother is out in the kitchen right now fixing coffee, and we're going to have a cup of coffee and maybe a little ice cream or whatever anybody might want. So I just thought I'd start this second half of this tape to you and get it going so that you could... would you pass that by me? Oh, yeah. He wanted to know if you had a place to play this. Yeah, they have a big one. Place to play it. Yeah. And as soon as Woody, as soon as they get this one, they turn this one on, and then they put a new one in and answer this tape and send it just back like we would write letters back and forth. So it works out pretty good. So anyway, not knowing what else to say for tonight, I'll probably say goodbye right now, and whenever I get ready to say goodbye, I usually say goodbye, so goodbye.
Hi, Carol and Mike. You now have your mother. And it's still Friday night. I'm eating a cookie, you can probably tell. We're sitting here after dinner. Woody's having tea, and Grandpa and Lenore are having coffee, and I'm having scotch, naturally. Anyway, we had a lovely dinner tonight. A lot of appetizers down at the boat, of course. So we all filled up, and couldn't any of us eat all of our dinner. But it was really very good. It's awfully cold here tonight. When you think of cold, I'm saying about in the upper 40s, I guess, and it will probably be colder tomorrow morning. But hopefully by the first part of next week, it will have straightened out. Tomorrow we're going to get up and have Grandpa made mush. We're going to have mush for breakfast, and I don't know what else, bacon and eggs, I suppose. And then we're going to go over to the flea market for a few minutes. When I say a few minutes, probably no longer than an hour, because you know Grandpa gets very tired walking around over there. But it'll be kind of fun. Woody and Lenore would like to go. And when we come home, I think Lenore's got a few little chores to do. She has an aunt down here that's quite elderly and not too well, so she talked to her a while ago, and she's going to go over there and do a few chores for her. So anyway, tomorrow afternoon, I don't know, maybe if Lenore and I have a little free time, we're going to do a little shopping, running around, whatever. Not a whole lot other than that. We'll probably go out to dinner someplace tomorrow night, maybe just across the street, I don't know. But it was nice tonight. We had a very nice time. It's now almost 10 minutes to 9. I don't know how much longer we can keep your father up. You know, he usually hits the sack by 9 o'clock, but maybe tonight I can keep him up till 10. Who knows? Nobody will care anyway. He can go to bed anytime he feels like it. So anyway, I will let you go. Oh, Woody said he stays up till 11 o'clock, but that's all right if he wants to stay up till 11 o'clock. You know, and Lenore goes to bed at 9. So she and your father are probably going to bed together. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? Lenore said, oh, no. They're going to bed in different bedrooms, let me put it that way. I know you're going to have a Super Bowl party, and I'm sure it's going to be delightful, as ours probably will, but it'll be all over by the time you receive this tape. We're hoping that you get a tape back to us, because we haven't heard from anybody for so long. It seems strange not to have heard your voice, you know. So try and get us a tape, even if you say nothing on it but jib-jab like we're doing here now. But at least it's something to think about. So I will let you go for tonight, and we'll probably try and get back to you tomorrow after we have bought our funny T-shirts or whatever we're going to try and buy to wear to Gordy's. I know they're expecting us to come very nicely dressed, you know, and we thought it'd be kind of a joke if we just went in sloppy T-shirts and maybe shorts. I don't know if we can wear shorts. It's probably going to be too damn cold, but we'll see. We'll work something out anyway. So have a good time at your Super Bowl party, as we will ours, and we'll be thinking of you. We love you. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Well, good afternoon, you guys down there. It is now Monday afternoon, 1:45. We just loaded Woody and Lenora up, and they are gone. And they're going up to Newport Richey to visit that Ray and Virginia Chenoweth. I don't know whether you know them or not, but they're a couple from Maryland, I think, or Virginia. He's the man that looks like Otto Miller. And he has not been very well, and he's trying to decide whether he wants a bypass operation or not. They told him he needed one. He just had a prostate operation that was malignant, so he's not really doing very good. But they're going up there to spend at least tonight and maybe tomorrow up there, and then they're going back home. We are free of company now, and our Super Bowl party is over. We went over to Gordy's last night, and Saturday afternoon we went to the flea market in the morning, and then we drove up to Clearwater for lunch and went to the Clearwater Mall, and we were able to pick up 2 orange T-shirts with Denver Broncos AFC champions on them. And Woody and Lenora picked up 2 shirts. One was a sweatshirt and one was a T-shirt with New York Giants on it, because they're from New York, as you know. And that's what we wore, just a pair of slacks and those T-shirts over to Gordy's, and they got a big laugh out of it. There was only 6 of us there, and it wasn't a big party. But he had Delmonico steaks, and she had a baked potato, and salad, and mushrooms, and onions. I don't know why she had cooked onions, but she did.
They were to go on top of that.
Your mother said they were supposed to go on top of the steak. Well, I thought mushrooms went on top of the steak, but she had both. Anyway, and they had wine, and then for dessert she had blueberry pie and ice cream and coffee, and we had a delightful evening. We made up a pot, and your mother and I didn't win anything, but that was all right. We didn't do it to win, and we just had a lot of fun. and we were home about 10:30, 11:15, I think. And that was the Super Bowl day. This morning, Lenora and your mother wanted to do a little more shopping. I think Lenora was trying to find, they call it a running suit. I thought it was a jogging suit, but you know how New Yorkers are. If she'd asked for a jogging suit, she might have gotten what she wanted, but she asked for a running suit. So anyway, they didn't buy much. We went to Navajo Joe's and a couple more little shops up at the brick building and goofed around. And then we came back and they decided to pack up and go on up to Newport Richie. And then they're going to go home from there or whenever. So that's about all of that. It's almost mail time, and I hope to get something from you, but maybe we won't. We talked to Ron yesterday, and he has got a little bit better report from the doctor on his liver, but it seems like that it might take 6 or 7 months. He's supposed to have had this already 2 months maybe, so they give it about 8 or 9 months to heal your liver if you don't drink and get a lot of rest. But anyway, he's feeling all right other than being tired. Yesterday afternoon, Sheila called, and they're having very cold weather in Missouri, and they've got a snow cover of 6 to 8 inches, but it's been on the ground a long time. They haven't gotten much snow in the last couple of days, but then they do have a snow cover. And Sheila didn't really have anything to say other than told us that she had talked to you on Mike's birthday, and that a little bit of the news that you had told her, I guess, about Hong Kong and Bangkok and Singapore and Gretchen's problems with her twins, and we hope that comes out all right. That's not a pun, what I said. So she's got a little bit of a cold, and I better let your mother talk a little bit because this thing might jump off the track and it'll be over with. So, but we're just fine. We love you. I'm going to say goodbye for now.
Well, hello, it's now me. Daddy thought maybe we were running out of tape, but there's a lot on here yet, so I don't have a whole lot to tell you because he told you all of the news. The people are working on our pool out here. I don't know if he told you that or not. They even had a scuba diver in there a while ago. I guess the drain must be clogged up or something from all of the debris that we had in here this past week. The Gulf has really been rough, and the beach is full of crud, whatever, stuff that's washed up. I've stripped the beds that Woody and Lenora were in, and Daddy and I just took it up to the laundry room, and in about 10 minutes now it'll be ready to come out, so I'll have to go up and put it in the dryer. Want to get the beds made up again so that I'm ready for my next guest, which I don't think will be until Randy and Cheryl come, but I'll be ready for them when they get here. What else can I tell you? I don't think anything at all, except that we're going to have chicken and noodles for supper tonight and some fresh green beans. Guess that's about all. The chicken's left over from Saturday night. I don't know if Daddy told you we went to the flea market, or we probably did anyway. But didn't buy much of anything. In fact, I don't know that we bought anything. Can't even remember. We bought our roasted chickens from the little market across the Gulf Boulevard here. They're always good and fresh. But we had so much left, and I took it all off the bone now, so we have enough for tonight's dinner, and then I froze the rest, and we'll have that another night. We'll probably go out to dinner tomorrow night. That's our usual night. Hope your Super Bowl party went well. I'm sure it did. We were thinking about you. I got these couple shirts. Don't really know what I'm going to do with them. I guess I'll send them up to Ron's kids. They can wear them as nightshirts or whatever. They're not any more good to anybody. They're just real cheap t-shirts, just cotton. I think they were $10 a piece. And they just say Super Bowl on them and Broncos and all that stuff, Well, I'll let you go, dear. We don't know anything else. I can't think of a darn thing to tell you. Aunt Louise and Aunt Marguerite are due here on the 10th of February, and Hazel and Daryl are due on the 4th of February. They're not going to stay with us, of course. They'll be over at Goldie's. Hazel and Daryl from there they're going to stay about a week, Goldie said, I guess, till her mother gets here. And then they're going on over to Titusville to stay with Glenn and Becky. Glenn, works for our McDonnell Douglas, and he asked to be transferred to Florida, and he thought he would be within a year, and they transferred him about 2 weeks later. So he wasn't too happy with that, I don't think. In fact, since he's been down there, he's had a slight heart attack. And he's a very young man, but he was quite heavy. So, and then they said Hazel and Dale are going down to see Otto and Audrey, so I guess they're just going to make the freebie tour this time. I wouldn't want that to get back to them, but that's what it sounds like to me, because I don't think they plan to be gone more than 3 or 4 weeks. Anyway, I'll let you go. That is all the news that I know for this time, so we'll get back to you and talk a little bit more tomorrow. We love you. Bye-bye.
One more little item, and I'm sorry, but I don't remember what we had on the prior part or the first part of this tape. But I'll tell you again now, and if I already told you, well, just act like you hadn't heard it. We did get a letter from the Eisenberg Company Saturday. And the Planning Commission had the hearing on the property on Tuesday the 20th, and it passed right on through, just like nothing had happened, except the Highway Department has given them a list of conditions that they must meet, and it's going to be quite expensive. And they're going to try to have a meeting in the next week to 10 days with the Highway Department to try to bring them back down to earth a little bit. That will be more acceptable for Eisenberg, because what they wanted to do involved all kinds of islands and stoplights and right and left turns that they hadn't anticipated, and no left turn into the property from Barrett Station Road going north, and it seemed ridiculous. They sent us a copy of the recommendations of the Highway Department, and I can see too that I'd just throw in the towel if it was me. But they are optimistic. They didn't say anything about it. He just said that they are very optimistic, and that they would send me a copy of any other new developments, and when it does go to the Planning Commission for three readings of the thing, which is an automatic thing, but they have to do it that way. And it looks like that we'll be calling Louie to get the shed and the boat and whatever. So anyway, outside of that, I may have told you that, and if I did, boy, I apologize. And if I didn't, boy, this is another way to use up a whole bunch of tape that I don't know what to say. So we'll get back to you. I'm going to get my mail, and after I get my mail, if there's anything that you would be interested in, I will put the rest of that on here. So goodbye again. Bye-bye. Hello, you two down there. We didn't get too much mail to speak of, but we did get a card that you had written to us on the 9th of January. But you didn't have our Florida address, so it went to St. Louis, then to Baldwin, then back to St. Louis, and it was finally postmarked the 22nd of January from St. Louis to us. So we got it, and we thank you for it. We didn't say a whole lot except that you said it was a 16-hour ride from San Francisco. That is a long, long way and a long time. Glad you had the rickshaw ride and look forward to getting a picture of that. So I told you I'd report to you after we got our mail, and I didn't get anything else that has got any bearing on the subjects that we've been talking about. So I'll say goodbye again. Goodbye. Well, good afternoon, you two down there. It's now Tuesday afternoon, 1:15, and it is cold, only in the 40s, and the wind is blowing about 35 miles an hour. So it's a typical Missouri day in Florida. I just came back from the mail, and the only thing that I received was your paid tax bill from the lake. And I will forward it, I guess, to Andy. I guess that's what I should do with it, so that Ron waved at you. Somebody just passed the window. His name is Ron, and he waved. His mother's sitting here, and she didn't see him. Anyway, that's why I said Ron waved at you. So that's all the mail we got. Didn't get any more. But you are paid up for this year. We went to the store this morning, to the butcher shop, and got some ribs. They don't have the ribs that we have. Had to take baby back ribs, but they had a whole bunch of meat on the back of them. I mean, about an inch thick. So we're going to try those. They don't have Missouri ribs. Well, she said, yeah, we just got some ribs, and they came from Kansas City. But she said, we call those flat spare ribs. They were frozen in one hunk, though, and they hadn't been trimmed, so they couldn't get them apart. And I saw the guy put them in a great big sink and turn the hot water on it. He put a chunk of them in there, about 10 ribs, I guess, and I thought, well, I don't think I want those. But when I'm not there and didn't see him, I wouldn't know how he thought them. Anyway, the baby back ribs look good, so I bought 2 slabs, and we're going to, if the wind ever dies down here and gets a little nicer, we're going to have ribs. Does that sound good to you? We'll have them when you get back. I told you yesterday all that we knew. Sheila had called, and well, I don't know if I told you. We did get a letter from Randy saying that he was going to arrive here on the 27th at 2:38 p.m. and that we should be sure and be there at the airport. So we will. I had to pause for a minute. I had to yawn. But anyway, we will be there to pick him up, and we're going to see to it that they enjoy their stay in Florida. We're going to put them on a bus, I guess, to Disney World, because they want to stay a couple days over there, and I don't think that Grandma and I care about that too much. So we'll see what we can arrange with the travel agent or something here to take care of them some accommodations over there, if that's what they want to do. If I went over either on the bus or in a car, I would be ready to come home the same night. That would be about enough for me. So I'm still watching the old Gulf roll. It's rolling pretty good, but not near. The tide's out right now, so it's about 20 feet out from our yard here. So let's see, it's over there now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30. No, 4:30. 3 hours on 1:30 is 4:30. So I guess Mike's about ready to come home. Your Super Bowl's over and ours is over, as we told you. So I haven't got too much left on this tape, but I will wait to finish this up because I can't get it in the mail today anyway.
4 o'clock in the morning over there.
Your mother just told me it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I can't get this in the mail today anymore anyway, so I might as well save it a little in case some exciting news comes on and I can relate it to you. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Goodbye.
Well, good evening. It is now Wednesday. I don't know the date. It's January the 28th. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. We've had our dinner, and I don't think there's too much on this tape, so I'm probably not going to get to say a whole lot, but I don't have a whole lot to say anyway. Daddy said we want to get this in the mail tomorrow. We had a little steak tonight for dinner. It was excellent. A little filet. We've been getting those because they're not quite so large. Today we did have a very pleasant day for a change. Our weather has been awful here, but today it got up to 70 and the sun was out nice and bright, so we both sat out on the porch here. Good part of the day. Daddy left this morning and had the car washed because it was so full of crud. Goldie came over a little while. She's got a very bad cold. Hozaks came down with their motorhome. They're on their way down to Otto's. You know, that's Otto's sister, Marilyn, and her husband, Bud. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say to you. I'm going tomorrow, as I think I told you before, to get a permanent. But that's no big deal. Mail has been very scarce. We haven't heard from you, Randy, Cheryl, Sheila, anybody really. I don't know why. I'm a little concerned about my mail deposits, but hopefully they will come back. You know, when you send something in by mail, you should get your deposit thing back, which I have not gotten since January the 9th. I know it's about to stop, so I'm going to tell you goodbye. And we love you. We sure do miss all of you. It seems like it's been a long time. Anyway, that's about all I know for now. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I thought it would stop by now, and it probably will any second.